Thank you, Chris.
Since everybody doesn't know everybody's name, maybe we should introduce ourselves around just so we can all.
Okay.
I'm Colin Smith. I live in 370.
Mhm.
Gus Miller, I live in 703.
Michael Doer, 238.
Tom Clear, 618.
John Haggerty, this office here, apparently.
Steve Abiel,
And,
Chairman.
yes. And we got,
Perry, 596.
yes,
There you go.
okay.
Ah. You pay your Jaguar. That's
My favorite car.
yeah, it is.
Mine too.
Yeah, I bet. All right, call to order. We're done. Confirmation of proper notice.
Notice was posted last week according to statutory
All right,
requirements.
roll call. We just barely did. We just have how many board members? One.
We got 2, 4.
All right. Chairman's comment. I really don't have any. I mean, how? Well,
I
we'll
got
get
some
to
things we can report.
that. Yeah. Let's review the minutes. I have it.
Reviewed, saw no problems with them. Move to accept.
Second.
Second, okay, very good. Minutes are accepted. All right, our slab renovation, you want that or?
Yes, okay. As you know, we've had to build fires under contractor to get things restarted again. We'd hoped to have a January start and it's April already, but they will be here Monday. He's taken 6 up and downs and they'll be starting Monday.
Is this the upper deck?
Yeah.
We're modifying it a little bit now, where instead of taking everything off the top first, they're taking the under ceiling out and reinforcing, replacing any rotted wood, any buckets or any of the metal that has to be replaced. Then they're just skimming the top, replacing the scupper, because a lot of the moisture got in because the scupper's original tin, I guess it
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
and it caused the water. So they're rebuilding the scupper, and then we're gonna come in and put a heavy duty paint up on top to use it as a waterproof.
So when you say skimming the top, does that mean taking off whatever?
Whatever
layers
there,
Okay,
yeah.
got it.
If there's-
I'm
if
filling
there's
in
yeah.
cracks if there's,
Yeah.
if
Got it.
need be.
If there's
Yeah.
tile there, that's gonna come off. This is poly pebble, that's gonna come off.
Okay, so this application would not apply over the poly. Or
What happened?
I killed the phone.
Oh,
This-
we're not on it. No,
Swan
Thanks,
dive.
thanks, Gus.
this page application would not apply over the pebble or the.
No,
No,
Okay, that's
it
fine.
has to come down. Yeah, thank you, Gus. Did we knock you out by dropping the phone? No, that's right. We're not on the phone. That's right. So he's starting next week. We also, Steve and I met with the contractor Atkins. They come out and spend a lot of time taking measurements and everything else. And I've called him 3 times for the proposals and he hasn't returned my call. So I think that we got to look for somebody else.
So there are 6 that are due to be done.
Yeah, well, there's 141
but
and
6
we've done
critical.
37, but there's 6 critical.
Yep.
Okay, and one of them is, matter of fact, is shored up with a,
4x4.
no.
Or,
no,
oh, the
it's a
stanchion, jack, yeah.
Jack stand.
That one's over in our.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we
Yeah.
got 2 in there. We're gonna do immediately, starting Monday.
Cool.
Okay.
Heck yeah. All right, flooring.
I got an update there too.
Very good.
I talked to Tina Gillen,
Yeah.
owner of 811. She said it's been a pursuit. Been a tough pursuit to get this free floor. And
Paying customers
yeah.
first.
yeah, the bottom line is their installation is going to start Monday. So we got another Monday start. And she's anticipating them to be less than a week. And she's also been notified to let us know when we're through so we can inspect it and everything else. So it's closer than it used to be.
So this is a vinyl floor with a padding under.
Yeah, they're gonna put down a glue layer, a vapor barrier, and then a sound padding on top of that. Which they say those 3 things combined, and we'll see.
Yeah, this is the material. No, that's the concrete.
That's
material.
concrete.
Yeah, I had it in the other file, but
Yeah, it's all
it
right.
is a specific
It's a blue.
type of materials.
Blue or green.
And it's supposed to end up with the same rating, minimally the same rating as carpeting, as far as sound deadening.
Now, does this, once you do all the multi-layer underneath the new finish, does that allow you to put any kind of finish over top of it, or is it just restricted to the vinyl, the LVP or LV?
It has to be the specific kind of vinyl. It can't be
Can't be
hardwood,
laminate wood.
Documents prohibit that. The documents allow for a vinyl with the proper underlayment,
Okay.
but they do not allow for hardwood or the only hard surfaces they can use, in this, according to the documents, is the entry hallway, the kitchen, bathroom, and lanai.
And it's even the proper vinyl. It isn't just any vinyl.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's got to be this specific
Yeah.
vinyl, and I'm assuming it comes in a wide variety of finishes, colors.
Which it does. And I have a copy of it in the office, but it's theoretically, our documents say you have to have a level of STC level of 70,
71,
but we're told
you can't even get
that
that.
the STC level of 70 that everybody shows on a test is on a minimum of a 6-inch slab. And we have 2-inch concrete and 2-inch metal. Yeah.
Are you upstairs, Gus?
No, I'm
No, you're
downstairs.
downstairs. You have somebody over you though.
Yeah. We have an upstairs unit above us, so.
So the good news is there it is.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. EV connection updates.
Nothing going on. I called yesterday, the electrician to see if he has an update for me. And it's getting a little frustrating. He does such good work and he's reasonable, but he's hard to get a hold of. And we
Because
recommend it to the people and they tell me the same thing. They've had to call him 3 or 4 times. And he told me the only way he really responds is if you text him versus leaving voicemails. Well, I say, how the heck does anybody know to leave you a text? Well, I mean, but so what happens now if anybody wants an electrician, I'll still recommend him, but I say, don't leave a voicemail, you leave a text. And apparently that's solving some of the problems, but my text yesterday didn't get answered.
Who is that?
That's Rick Johnson. And what we have for Rick is that we want an answer if the electrical connections can be made right there at the front of the unit where the power comes in. And we have 2 ground straps to be replaced.
Okay.
And I'm pushing him on that.
Oh, that doesn't have to be done by FPL.
No. Well, here's the deal. FPNL brings it into the transformers where you see that.
Right.
And then from the transformer to what they call the handhold.
Yep.
Which is the split for the various
Yep,
units. From the handhold to the unit is the association's responsibility.
Got it.
And that's where these
That's where
$3,000 or $4,000
Yep.
expenses are.
Really? That's fine.
Yeah,
Well, the wire itself is about $100 a foot.
Well, but I'm not the cost, but the fact that we're responsible for that, they're
Oh,
usually
yeah.
responsible for everything to the meter.
I know. But this was apparently, I fought it for a year.
Wow.
And I mean, 'cause we just didn't do anything. And the ruling came and the attorney reviewed it and he said this was the agreement made in the 70s. So,
All right, well, we'll keep on working on that.
yeah, and it's expensive.
I just had a little electrical work and went down to make sure what the electrician was charging me. And Romex costs about $1.20 a foot.
Yeah,
Couldn't believe it.
exactly.
Used to be
Well-
about a 250-foot roll, $20.
Up north.
All
that's
PVC
really
is double,
Yeah.
of course, which has nothing to do with it, but our costs have doubled for any drainage, for any irrigation.
Yep.
Double.
Well, it's just like up north. Where the electric comes off the pole and then it goes right up to the top of the house. From that down to the meter was the owner's responsibility.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's just like our handholds.
Yeah.
Here.
And the FPNL was sending out documentation, it doesn't apply to us, but they were saying anything from wherever their handhold point is.
Yeah, we could have a contract
Up to-
individually on everybody's unit, but they would be responsible for that.
Right. So,
But why should I pay for that when the association pays? I'm
Well,
paying
it's-
for it in my
exactly.
dues.
Your ultimate. thing.
Yeah, ultimately, we're paying for it. All right. Well, this is gonna be a quick meeting. Any comments, committee?
I will bring something up if you,
Go ahead.
because it has to do with buildings. We're on a new project of going on the roof and checking all the openings, any penetrations, including ACs, including pipes. And there's about 20 to 22 openings for each building.
Yeah. The
And,
vent pipes.
All of A in Pinehurst has now been newly either is secure or have been secured by a
Screen.
screen and
With a strap.
we bought a strap and a
Yeah.
special tool to put it on there. So we're moving down and doing them all. And this is basically for rodent protection and
Yep.
things of that nature. So we're underway with that.
Yeah.
We've got one building done in Sherwood and all of a cluster in Pinehurst.
so that's
Okay.
the down spot, the down pipes. What about dryer vents,
Out front.
Most dryer vents come
Have
up
their
from
own
the
screen.
side.
right?
Yeah, and they haven't had any issues, any increase through there. But right now, any issues we've had seem to be come from roof
Okay.
penetrations.
Hi, Mike, Steve.
Yes, go ahead.
That's too-
I was in cluster P, probably been 2 weeks ago. And this gentleman from, I don't even know what air conditioning company he worked for. He said, where's the air conditioning units? I said, on the roof. And he'd been looking out behind the unit and he didn't find it. And I said, he said, well, how do I get on the roof? I said, well, you gotta have a ladder.
Wow.
And I said, you have to be sure and tell the office,
Yeah.
or the owner needs to tell the office. And I don't know who the owner was. But I think it might be something that you could post, particularly maybe this time of year, is maybe to post on the bulletin boards that owners need to report to the office if somebody is working for their air conditioning company that goes on the roof.
That's a good idea. We can repost it. We had it on there for
Yeah.
about a year. And the people are very good. You'd be surprised, but it's not a bad idea to remind everybody.
Yes, the best time of year to notify people is November, December, when people are starting to come back for them.
Yeah, but we'll,
Also
yes,
before
I
the
agree.
summer.
yeah,
I call when they go over, just in self-defense. If there's something wrong, I don't want to be the one to pay for it.
well, you ought to see what we find. And I think we've found buckets of debris left up by some people. We found tools, you name it.
Yeah.
But you can usually tell the company,
Yeah.
you know, like
I
there's
get it.
4 or 5 companies, you almost don't have to go, but you go anyway.
Yeah.
Like Anthony's and Veterans Air, and it's always clean.
I always tell my guy before he goes up, be really careful. Don't leave any screws, don't leave anything up there. Then I ask him when he comes down, is it clean?
Mhm.
So,
Well, you know, I mean, that's been your business.
yes, yeah. All right. Okay, committee, anybody else comments? Concerns?
That was quick.
Yes. Owners? Hello? No.
Gus,
Gus,
I have a question.
Good.
Has there ever been any discussion about the rear window walls? The lanai walls, the glass windows. I mean, I know owners are responsible for their own windows, right?
Right.
Some of those are starting to look really bad. And I don't know how you solve that problem.
you have shutters or your windows
No,
been
this is
replaced?
the back windows on the lanai.
Oh, the lanais.
on the upstairs in particular, or up
Well,
and down?
It's both. I mean, there are windows that, I mean, they're just getting in bad shape. You know, these aluminum frames tarnish and fade, and you end up with 4 different colors of bronze. And
So I'm curious, having to do with that, if it's still
Are they the
original
original?
from the 70s and 80s, is that still the association's responsibility?
The only
Or-
original responsibility the association has is for screens.
Okay,
there's
Uh,
only
Yeah,
a handful of those left.
Yeah.
more than, they're more than you might think, because lately it seems like we've had a lot of screen calls.
Yeah.
And we've been taking care of them, but maybe they're just that few, but so once an owner replaces those screens, then it becomes their
their
responsibility.
responsibility.
But you bring up a good point, is aesthetics something into the point where we should in fact enforce something as far as painting or something?
And just, I know, for example, I have 2 of they're double hung windows in mine. 2 of them, it's the same style of window that's in the front, the originals, except it doesn't have the louvers on the back. It's got that mechanism when you have to take the windows out, you got the little tabs you have to pull down and shimmy the window out. If you know what I'm talking about. If you've ever taken your front windows out.
Yeah, I know those types from up
Okay,
north.
my back windows are the same.
Well, then they've been replaced.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, they're not original.
Yeah, once they're replaced, yeah, that's
Yeah.
all owner.
And I know I've got 2 of those in the back.
Mhm.
That spring-loaded mechanism that's in the window is bad. Now, I don't ever open my windows. I keep them shut. I've taken the screens out because the screens are all something had eaten the screens up. There were holes all through them, so they're just out. Don't ever plan really to replace them, but just a lot of them. I walk a lot. I know everybody does, but I've got 2 dogs and I'm always walking. And I just noticed that a lot of the rear window systems are beginning to look really bad.
Yeah.
And in some places, some of the cladding, there's so many different styles of windows that have been installed. There's some more modern, it looks like they framed in part of the wall, and then did more traditional windows. Some are full aluminum. I know of a couple that are the old crank out jalousie type,
Jalousie,
not
yeah.
jalousie, but they're
Awning window
awning windows. So I mean, and some of those they're getting some age on them. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how long mine's been there.
We could certainly start taking,
Yeah, we'll
'cause
start
we
taking a
go
look
around
more.
like we'll do
But-
at least twice a week. We go around and we look like at fascia, and sometimes you zero in on something and say, we're looking at this, we're looking at that, we miss something good
Yeah,
that.
usually we're zooming in
no.
on what's our responsibility.
So,
Sure, no, I understand.
Yeah, but yeah, if it's an owner's got a really bad issue, then I guess we suggest to them that, hey,
but it's still a huge expense, and
Oh, it
that's
is.
tough. So one thing that's bothered me in your building, 709 has had their windows replaced, 2 years ago? And the slatting was never replaced on.
Okay, tell me which one's 7?
That's,
That's right by the sidewalk that goes to the
Okay,
pool.
yeah,
That's
the lower unit.
Pat Buke's
Pat
unit.
Buchanan,
Yeah,
yes.
And you see all kinds of systems installed,
Yeah.
sliders.
Well, it was.
She was, believe it or not, that non-replacement of siding was approved.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I was wondering why it was.
yeah,
never.
because I went over there first. Once I saw it was done, and then I don't even know how it got through, but she has an approval of the
Okay.
design. It's signed off on by whoever was building chair then.
Steve,
no.
No, no.
Before me,
No.
I was ready for that.
Who was building?
The
But
guy-
I
the
think
guy
it
who
was
did the
McDivitt.
Construction.
No, I think it was McDivitt.
McDivitt,
Signed off
yeah.
on it, Yeah.
Now, does
He's a
those
contractor.
rear windows now have to be hurricane glass?
It
it
depends.
depends. It depends on the configuration. If your sliding doors are still there. So it's a separate area. I don't think you have to have hurricane glass, but if your sliding doors
Have
to
been
the
removed.
main unit have been removed,
Then
then
they-
yes, then you
yeah.
have to have, that's my understanding. anyway.
That's
So I need to
true.
replace mine before I take my sliders out. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, if you were, excuse me, if you were to,
I did
I
put a
don't think
wall.
you'll be able to take your slide, the fire will not, fire code will not approve you're taking your sliders out
meeting?
if those windows are
anything,
not.
emergency,
glass.
emergency. Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, I had the aluminum bottom and then the vinyl
No, no, that's
windows.
what I'm-
Yeah,
No, no,
I
no.
took it out. I had a
No,
wall
the
put
answer is
in
That's what
all
I,
right,
and
uh-huh.
went sliders
Okay, right, right.
and they're acrylic.
well,
I mean, it looks like glass.
that aluminum panel that's below,
Yeah.
I was getting water in through it, and what I
Yeah.
found outside was the panels basically over time had like popped out.
Yeah.
So water could easily just go right down in there, and then what you were seeing was a little bit of calcium.
Yeah.
On the inside.
Yep,
That's all
I had the
that's
same
on
thing. And that's why I put a wall.
I went in and screwed all that back tight and caulked it.
Talked to, yeah.
I've done some caulking outside. It was pulled, especially around where the column is.
Yeah.
And that probably next year I'd like to paint it outside. I mean, it's like 13 shades of bronze. You know?
Yeah.
And then try to combine, which one do you match? the
Yeah,
column
which one
with?
do you match?
Which bronze?
What is the status of the building over in about 363 or?
The bank has taken over title. The bank bought it at foreclosure sale. In other words, the bank brought foreclosure action against it and then bought their own foreclosure. So the bank owns it now.
But the bank owned it before.
No,
Oh, this is the first.
this is the first, I mean, the bank always held the first mortgage, or actually it was a reverse mortgage.
Yeah.
And so the bank held it, but they couldn't dispose of it or anything until both of the residents passed
The
away.
rumor is that one bank sold it to another, so they don't have to pay but 1 year's dues but they're cleaning it out, by the way.
Let me tell you what the law is, okay? If you take, if the bank takes it over as they did through the legal action, no matter who it is, they only have to pay 1 year.
Yeah.
If somebody takes it, or the bank takes it in a deed in lieu of foreclosure, they have to pay everything. So it's very rare that they do it that way. We've had two that the bank screwed up and did it, and we got all of our money. But all we're going to get is 1 year on this one. If somebody walked in and bought it at foreclosure, like if you walked in and bought it at foreclosure, you would have had to pay everything. So the lobbyists for the state of Florida banking industry and insurance industry owns the Senate and the House of Rep. There's nothing good coming. No, I mean, everybody got excited because there's headlines in the paper about how the legislature is taking over insurance issues. Their only issue is they want to get rid of citizens, and that'll only drive prices up.
Sure.
It's not going to help us.
Getting back to yours. I
I'm
mean, what's
sorry.
your concern? Is us telling people to
Well,
clean
it's
up
one
your
of those
act?
things that, it definitely is an exterior appearance
Mhm.
thing.
I'm in agreement.
And I realize for some people living here, replacing that window walls, I can't even imagine.
Yeah,
You're probably
yeah.
looking at $20,000. And if you put hurricane glass in, every bit of that.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's a big hit.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Aesthetically, we'll have to take a look.
Yeah, and with, the values appreciating and everything else, I don't know. Yeah, I heard at the last sale, 510,000.
Yeah, 513.
is that what the offer was?
No,
No,
that's the final.
that's what they took.
510?
It was
510.
listed-
510.
It was listed at 480 and they bid it up to
Well,
513.
the one over there behind us was $499.
Yeah.
That's what it was listed at on the.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
then it was listed at 499, but it ended up selling. at
510.
510.
Well, everything's going.
Furnished, but it was furnished.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That made a huge difference. John.
Yeah. But all kidding aside, I mean, but, unless you've got someplace you already own somewhere else, you're going to
Yeah.
play inflated dollars wherever you go.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll look, we'll start taking a closer look at that and see what we can do. I mean, I know that when I first started riding with John, we had a door in a lanai back that was not matching colors. And every time we went by it over here in the 400s, I would say, where's that back door?
Mhm.
Gotta get that paint. So we went and painted it.
Who would paint the outside?
Well, the owner, if it's an owner's responsibility, they can get any paint, or they
It's-
could
well, it's
talk
interesting.
to one of our guys.
The door, if it was a door, if you were talking
Yeah.
just about doors, the association's responsible for door paint, but not window paint, or not window frame paint. In other words, you as an owner are responsible to replace the structure of the door, front or back, or wherever. But as far as painting, it's the association's responsible.
Now, I got another question on doors.
Mhm.
I want to do something, or I've got the original door still.
Yep.
Door's in good shape. Nothing wrong with it. Frame's in good shape. Has anybody tried to put a light kit into one of these doors?
No, I just bought a new door,
New
hung it
slab?
on the same, I have a 3/4 glass,
Can you do a full glass?
Yes, you
OPEC.
can.
as long as it's opaque.
Are you
or,
talking
know.
about your
Front door.
front door?
Yeah, I have to approve it, but basically is the committee.
Mhm.
But the committee has said that since the original door with the squares and everything else are not available anymore, you have every right to change just about anything you want, but it has to be signed off by my office.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then we'll come paint
Then we'll paint. the
whatever's.
Paint, okay.
Paint over the glass and everything.
I just-
Yeah. I gotta say, Jim does a really good job.
Yeah.
He painted mine
It
and
was suggested it be reflective so that people can't see into your.
Well, opaque. you know,
opaque.
yeah.
The
Glass. I mean, you.
not tinted or whatever,
I don't.
not just.
If it's full, you probably want opaque, but everybody else has the moons and,
Oh, yeah.
and it's not opaque. I mean, you
Yeah,
can
most
see,
See, that doesn't bother us, because, I mean,
all it does is help light.
yeah, we want the light in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause it's-
I have the 2300 in my front door. That's just a dungeon.
It is.
And when I put in you could see through it, but it still has some
Yeah.
opaque to it,
Yeah.
or opaque.
Yeah,
whatever you
right.
want.
I mean, we leave
And
our
we're talking about the
Tomato,
old door, right?
tomato.
Not the storm.
No.
No,
it's
the
not
regular
the
door,
regular-
regular door.
Okay.
I mean, we've got.
But I think for security purposes, it is in the amendment that I made, that it does need to be somewhat
Reflective.
not reflective.
No, just, it's not
We use the
clear,
word
not, yeah,
opaque,
opaque, yeah.
opaque,
It could be opaque. or-
Frosted.
but
Mhm.
yeah, but you can get one that's,
You can see out, but they can't see it.
no,
Well,
no,
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 you
no,
can't
they
see
can
out
see
either.
them.
It's frosted.
Oh,
No, mine's not.
It's
Mine you can see in, you can see a figure. If I'm on the inside getting ready to open the door, they can see my figure, but they just can't,
They can't see you. They can see your figure. You
yeah,
can see that there's somebody there.
yeah.
We have a door at home it's all glass. And some of it it's kind of a craftsman house looking door,
Mhm.
and it's kind of a Frank Lloyd Wright door, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And some of the glasses, pieces are frosted, some of the glasses are beveled, so that
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
cracks that, yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
just a distortion, so you're not having a.
We leave our door open all the time anyway.
Yeah, well,
I mean, we don't really worry about anybody seeing in, but
we're more worried about people being able to look in when you're not there.
yeah.
Uh, So if it's
Good
just
point.
somewhat distorts.
I also want to be able to do one with the blinds in it too. So that way you can shut the blinds when
Yeah,
you're not
mhm,
here.
yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just,
still let John see it.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I gotta tell
I
you,
was
it
just
makes a
curious.
big difference.
I mean, in previous life, I've put window kits in the doors.
Mhm.
Nothing of that size, but the door really seems, my door's pretty protected.
Yeah,
I
mine
face
is too.
northwest,
That's
and
like
with the
mine.
1550, it's set back in. So the frames, it needs to be sanded and painted, but it's in great shape. It's not rotted. Be pretty easy to buy a light kit and just cut the door out. Are those fiberglass or are they metal?
Our doors are metal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah,
Okay, I thought
metal.
they were.
Yeah, they are.
Sorry.
Because somebody
knows
took
what's
off
in
all
some.
the squares and they had 2,000 holes to fill.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those little things.
That's, but if you do replace it, I have somebody who needs your door.
Mine's actually.
Well, all
He's
their
keeping
little
it short.
squares melted because they put in a storm door and then didn't put the screen down
Mhm.
and they all melted.
Fortunately, I don't get any sun on our door.
Yeah, I don't get any on mine either.
Is
My
that
neighbor.
Pat Butts as well? Because she said she had melted squares.
Yeah. It's usually more than one, I mean, depends on where the direct sun is and whether
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah.
glass in front of it. I mean, it gets hot. I
She's
got
on
to
the
ask
end,
her,
Yeah, she's right.
yeah, so the sun would catch her.
as long as we have an architect in residence, maybe you could help us, maybe you can't. We have an issue with our step treads, our big step treads. In areas where the sun really bakes down, no matter what we put there, out comes the sap. Is there any remedy
Oh,
for
you
that?
mean on the, pulling it out of the wood?
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
In some areas, it's a real problem. I mean, serious problem where some people make a little bit more of it than others.
Yeah.
But let's give them their due. They do get sticky. And I mean, it could be 2 years old. And it
Comes right up through
it
through
just,
the brown paint. Well, the paint wears too. But
have you ever had an issue like that to deal with?
I've dealt with tannin and stuff coming out of wood, and that's always a problem, but not from the sun baking down on,
Because it'll be all right until right about now.
that's not treated lumber, is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Those big, thick
Mhm.
slabs?
Yellow pine,
So-
or cypress, I guess it is. Yellow pine or,
I think it's yellow
So,
pine.
so the treatment that we're doing on the slab,
Yeah.
what would happen if you tried one of those steps?
well, that's our next goal.
Okay,
Yeah, because Steve's got the paint.
I
And
wrote the name.
if we continue to have the issue, we're gonna try to cover it in that paint and see what
yep,
happens.
that's,
What about changing the wood to something, pine's got so much sap in it.
Yeah, well, what would you have to go to? Almost a Trex? I mean, because they're 2.5 inch thick.
I would think you know,
I'd think seriously about composite, one of the composite materials.
That's what I'm saying, Trex.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
is that what that is?
Pricey.
But that's
I
really
don't even know if you can
expensive.
get it 2.5
Yeah,
inches.
I don't know if you can get it, but it's expensive.
What's this?
what about cypress?
I think that's two we have, cypress and yellow pine.
Is cypress, I'm not familiar that much with cypress. Does it?
Call John Mercer.
Calling John
There he
Mercer.
was right there.
I know he is there. That doesn't mean he's gonna pick up.
Yes, sir.
John, what's the material on our step treads? You said it's yellow pine and,
It's all, we don't use fir, but fir is the other one that saps very, very big time. Fir and southern yellow pine are the two strongest woods,
all right.
and that's also the two that have the most sap.
Well, do you have any, is there any other wood that might not be sappy?
Not that's as strong and as rot resistant as the southern yellow pine that's pressure treated.
Somebody here suggested cypress.
See,
Cypress would be, I can look into it, but I think it would be more expensive. And
Yeah,
I'm
but-
not sure that they make that in pressure treated, and that's something that you would really,
Think it'd be
Well, let's look into it anyway, John, because, you
Yes,
know,
sir.
we don't have this issue everywhere, but where we have it, it's an issue, as you know.
yes, sir. Okay.
All right.
I'll
And John,
ask about it.
do you know if the Trex or anything comes that thickness?
No, and it also isn't stable.
Yeah.
We've used, Jeff, in the past, have used
Stretch.
4x4s out of that Trex material.
Uh-huh.
And it ends up, after a period of time, it flexes real big. And to use it, we'd have to add more bracing in the center of the steps to
Okay.
span the 40,
Yeah, okay.
most of them are.
All right. Thanks, John.
Yes, sir.
All
Bye.
right, hup.
You might be able to find a supplier down here who could take, I don't know can you pressure treat cypress?
I would think.
Why would you have to on cypress?
Well, cypress is pretty rot resistant to start with.
Yeah, that's
I
what
mean,
I'm saying.
I would think that would be something you'd want to look at to see if that would survive one of the elements. And is it strong enough? How wide are the steps? 40 feet? But that's still a pretty thick plank. That's what,
But if Trex flexes after a short period of time,
Trex, I don't think Trex would work, even if it was that thick, because it's really not a very strong material. When you
Yeah,
put it on a
yeah.
deck and stuff,
Yeah.
you can't span it more than
12
16
inches.
inches or 12 or whatever. And even over time, you'll see a little bit of this in it. It's a great material for a deck topping. I don't
I don't think it
Well,
would
it's
work.
good. Anyway, this, I appreciate the suggestion. Thank you.
What's
It
the
can't
park
hurt to look.
district use in their walks out, say in Robinson Preserve?
treat it.
They have board, they're probably only two
Yeah, but they got a lot of
two
support.
by six. Yeah,
Make a ground support, right?
They get ground support.
they're wide.
But they run joists up underneath.
Yeah, you get joists running underneath of those too, not just the side and the side. There's
One in the middle.
one in the middle at least.
We did Emerson Point the other day and everything there is just treated 2 or 2 to 6s.
Yeah.
So that's all. it is.
The other thing is they can replace them all the time if they want.
Redwood on a deck in Georgia. And that was pretty stable.
Redwood it will last forever.
Yes.
But the problem with it is, one, it's probably the most expensive wood.
Oh,
you
that's
can-
that.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not really a very strong wood.
No.
It shatters really easy. I've had a house that was all redwood trim on the outside. And it's great for siding.
Yeah.
And stuff, but
Interesting.
Interesting. All right. Well, all right.
Chris, you have anything else?
No, nope.
Next meeting, let's see, 14th.
You're gonna be away?
Yeah, I don't know if I won't be back by then. 12th.
You can have it early. Get it
I'm
out of the
I'm
way.
gonna be gone, these two.
All right,
So
fifth
we
and
have to-
sixth.
We go to the, or we,
I'm gone after the 20th,
well, we go to the 17th.
17th. Yeah,
I'm gone the whole month.
good for you. Where you going?
Istanbul.
Nice.
Oh, good. I love that. I was there once. My wife was afraid of the big market. I thought it was really.
Leave on the 3rd and come back on the 29th.
Very good.
I think I told you, but I don't know if Steve knows, but my grandson was one of the cameramen at the Olympics. And they flew him from Miami to New York to Istanbul to Beijing. And coming home, there's some Beijing to Tokyo to Dallas to Miami. So he went around the world.
All the way around.
All the way around the world.
That's pretty good. All right.
He tells some stories too.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
We will-
17th?
17th at 10 a.m.
Thank you, Chris.